You're welcome to my channel, Mindset Academy, where we want to reproduce a figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen in isometric projection. Now, when you hear the word isometric projection, the first thing you have to do is to draw your isometric axis, which means you're going to draw your y and your x axis. So I'll have it this way, my y axis this way, then my x axis this way, and the z axis in this manner, right? So I'll place it here in this manner here. You can see that. Now once we've done that, we're looking for the entire length, the entire width, and the entire height. Now what is the entire length here, which is from here to here, and that is given as what? As 100. So I'm going to measure 100 from this point here. From here, I will measure 100. So this is 100 here. Right? Measure 100 here. And the entire height or the entire width from here to here is going to be 60. I'm going to measure 60 from here. From 0 to 60. You can see that? 60 here. Then the entire height, we look at from this point to this point is going to be 20. And from this point here to this point is going to be 30. That is making 50. Plus radius of 16. That is making what? 66. Right? So I'm going to measure 66 from this point here upward. So this is my 66 here. 0 to 66 at this point. Now I will now take my instrument and I will take all these points upward. So this will be coming up from here, right? This will be coming up from here, and this will be coming up from here, like this. Right? Then what I did here, let's place it here, and I'm going to do this. Now turn it in this direction. I'm going to do this. I also come here. I'm going to do this. Then let me bring this down a little bit. This way and this way here. And I'll place it here. And I'll be having this. You can see that? Now sometimes you need to understand that when you have a figure this way, right, like what we have on the right hand side of the screen, and it's having something at the center like this design here, what you have to do is to get the center of that figure. You start from there. So if I get the center of this figure here, since it is 60, the center will be at a distance of what? 30. Right? It will be at a distance of what? 30. That's what we'll have. And I can just take it up. I'll just take that up this way. Can see that? So that's the center line there. Then the next thing is you're given a height of 20. I will measure the height of 20 on that point in this manner. So the height of 20 from 0 to 20, right? And from that point, I will just draw a line on that point. Similarly, from here now, from the 20, you measure 12 downward. From here to here is 12. So I'm going to measure 12 downward this way. From the 20 itself here, I'll measure 12 downward. So this is 12 here, downward. Right? This is 12 here. And I'll rule another line at that point too. This way. So at that point, I'll rule a line this way. You can see that? So we are given the thickness of this point here from here to here to be what, 28. Then I'm going to take 14, 14 each, right? So I can just take my meter rule and I'll measure 14 here, 0 to 14. I'm using 14 because of half of 28 is 14, right? And I'll place it at this point. And I'm going to mark 14 to the left and also I'll mark 14 to the right. You can see that? So that is what I'm going to bring down. So if I place my t-square, my set square, my t-square this way, I will now draw this down this way, right? You can see that. I'll come here also, I'll do the same thing this way. You can see that. And I'll close it up this way, right? So from here, I'll close it up. And here also, I'll close it up. I'll also close it up. Then I'll close it up too, as shown in diagram. You can see that. I will bend it to this side too. I'll bend it to this side. This way. Right? So if I do it this way, I will draw it down. From this point, this will go down. And from this point, this will also go down. Right? And this will go in this way. Right? And I'm going to tick in here too. This way. That tick in, and I'll tick in here too. This way. And I'll also tick in here too. This way. As shown in the diagram. Now what I'll do is I'll just close it up also. And I'll close it up also. So taken. Now if you look closely, we need to get the center of the thickness of from here to here is given to be 20, right? And I'll measure 20 at this point here. Measure 20 from here. This is 20 here. So taken, and I'll take it up from this point, my faint line, and here too, I'll close it up, and here too, I'll bring it down, including the back here, I'll bring it down. I just want to bring out the box I need here. So here also, bring it down. So I brought out this box here. Like I told you, we have a center line already. And I will channel this center line here to this point here. Right? And I'll bring it down to this point here. And also bring this one down to this point here. So this line, you're seeing these two lines here, they are the center line. Now what I'll do is, from here to the center of this circle is given to be 30. So I'm going to measure 30 from this point here where the center line is. from 0 to what, 30. You can see that. So I'll measure the 30, and that will be the center of that circle. So I'll just draw a line along that point. So what I'll simply do here, we have a radius of what? This eternal arc here, radius of 16. So what I'll just do is, I'll just take my compass from this point, with radius of 16, right? I'll mark left, I'll mark right, and I'll mark bottom. I see that? And I'll bring it out to form my box. So I'll just bring it out this way to form my box. And from here too, I'll bring it out to form my box. And I'll close it up here this way. Now, what I have here is these 4 points here we have. These 4 points here that we have, right? And I'll use my meter rule and I'll connect the longest diagonal. Longest diagonal from this point to this point. Right? Just like our ordinate method that we'll be doing all this while of construction. So I'll just draw this out this way. You can see that? And I can take from this end to touch this, and I'll take from this end to touch this, right? So where they meet, they are actually meeting at this point here, here and here. So with the help of my compass, right, I'm going to draw. Let me use faint line first of all. From this point, I'll place it here. I'll place it here, and I'll draw this. Faint line first. You can see that? And I'll come here also at this point here. I'll draw this too to touch this side too. Can see that? So what I'll do is I'll take my meter rule and I'll draw a line tangential. Since you can see in the diagram, a line from this point is tangential to this point here. Let me put it this way. Just draw a tangential line from this point. You can see that? So I can easily think in it here. You can see that? And I'll come here too, I'll do the same thing at this point. Tangential too. Let me take it in from this point to this point here. You can see that? Then I can easily tick in this way. Now that is for the front there. So we'll do the same thing at the back, right? So what I'll just simply do is just to transfer my points. I don't have to do too much. So if I transfer this point backward this way, I transfer these two backward this way, and I transfer these two backward this way. So where this line from here meets this, right? Then I'll do the same thing too. Draw this backward this way. Then I'll close it up. Right? So once I've done that, I'll join the diagonal. Since I join from here to here, I'll join from here to here. Right? Right? So I'll transfer those points. This point you see, this point is on this line. This line on this point, I'll transfer it to this point here. Right? So I can now do what I want to do. I can now do what I want to do. So I can just take my compass, I'll place it at this end here. Right? and I'll move it to at this point here. I'll move it to this point here where I'm going to draw. Right, so let's put that at this point, and I'll have this. So let me use faint line first. You can see that, and I'll place it here. Do the same thing here too. I'll just stop here, and I can take my meter rule and connect this end point here to this end here, tangential to that point. Right, and I'm going to thicken this way. I'll just take this. I'll join this point here to this point here. You can see that. So the next thing is in between here. There is a circle, right? I can even close it up. First of all, and I can also close it up too. Now, if you look it in between here, there's a circle, and the circle has a radius of what? Of 10, since the diameter is given to be 20, right? So I'll just measure 10 on my meter rule. Just 10 on my meter rule, from 0 to 10, and I'll place it at this point. I'll mark 10 up, 10 down, 10 to the left, and 10 to the right. Then I'll use my meter rule and I'll take it up this way, up this way. Then I'll close it up too, and I'll close it up too. So we have this, right? I can actually get a circle that will fit into that box using my French curve instead of just constructing it. I just get any that will fit into that box, right? So I believe I can easily take this. All together. If I place it there, or better still, I'm not doing that. I can easily use that. Let's just do that and see. So just put it there. Alright. See that what we have there? I can construct it with my hand also if I want to. So the next thing is we have something here placed at this point here, right? And the length of it is given to be 40. Start taking. The length is given to be what? 40. So what I will do is I'm going to get the center of this figure here. So let's see the length of that figure first of all. From here to here is given to be 80. You can see that? From here to here is 80. So I can just take half of 80, which is what? 40. So 40 is the half of it. And now draw a line across that 40 this way. So from this line here, I'm going to measure 20 up, 20 down, since the length of it is 40. So I'll measure 20 up and 20 down using the help of my rule and compass. I'll measure 20 here, and I'll place it at this point. Even before that point, I need the center line. So I'll use my 20. So let me draw that center line here. So this is our center line we have initially. So I'll just draw a line this way. So from this point where it meets, I'll take my compass and I'm going to measure 20 up here and 20 down here, right? So put 20 here. Is that taken? So once I've done that, I'll just take my compass and I'll draw a line across that point this way. This way. Knowing fully well that distance from here to here is 40 as shown in the diagram here. So the thickness is given to be 12, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure half of 12, which is 6, since the diameter of that circle is 12. So the radius is what? Is 6. So I'm going to measure 6 from 0 to 6 here, alright? And I'll place it at this point here. I'll mark 6 here to the left, 6 to the right here. Then I'll draw my line on that point. So that means everything I have here from this point to this point here is sticking to here. I'll just extend it a little bit. Then from here to it's sticking to this point here. So I'll extend it a little bit, even here too, just a little bit. Now since I've done that, I'll be able to draw. So if I place my compasses from here to here is 6, then I'll mark 6 up too. I also mark 6 down also, right? I'll place it here also. I'll mark 6 up here. I'll mark 6 down here. So I'll make them to form my box. So forming my box, this is what I am going to be having here. So this will cover this up. This will cover this up. So I'll come here, cover this up. Here also cover this up, right? So I've have that box here. That again. So I can easily draw my diagonals. The longest diagonal here, this to this is long, and this to this is what is long also. That taken. So once I've done that, I'll take from this point to touch here. I'll take from this point to touch here. I'll also take from this point to touch here. I'll take from this point to touch here too. Can you see that? So where they meet at this point here, right? That is what I'm going to use to draw my circle. And most times I may choose to use my French curve since it is very small. So I can just place it, look for something that can fall in this way. At least I will choose the two head here. Can you see this head here to this point here? So I'll just have this way. Can you see that? I'll come here also. I'll look for something that will fit in from this end to this end, right? This end to this end. Can you see that? Now, even though you look at this line here from the diagram is not really there, right? I'm going to delete this off. This is only a fillet of what? Radius of 6. So that's what I'm going to do now. So then first of all remove this away. So this is what we have here. I've removed this line and I've replaced it with what? A fillet of radius of what? 6. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.